Welcome back, or if you're a first-time viewer, welcome. Get some popcorn, strap in, do whatever you need to do, because if you tune into this video, you saw the amount of time that was posted, and it's going to be a long one. We have some things to discuss. As you can see, I have a plethora of Scx24s in front of me. This is not even my entire collection. I have several in build state. And are they still worth buying? So what's brought me to this video is, out of all of these Scx24s, out of the box, they're basically the same. Which brought us to the newest release. This great looking little Lexus. And honestly, I do like this thing. And before I go bashing on the Scx24 brand, when microcrawling came out, this was it. There was no other microcrawlers. You got an Scx24, you got nothing. And when other stuff started trickling out, it wasn't as good, like the RGTs and stuff like that. They weren't quite as good yet. Now they've surpassed them, in my opinion. But when you first started trying to do microcrawling, you got Scx24s, and you had to do a whole lot of your own modifications yourself and make your own parts because they weren't available yet. Now, I mean, you can buy anything. Example, completely custom build, not a single axial part on this thing. This was all bought off of Amazon, aftermarket parts, Endura, RC all-wheel drive, stuff like that, Fury Tech brushless system. Thing is a little beast, but is it really an Scx24? Not a single axial part on it, so you tell me. It's Scx24 based. So, and then, you know, you can get into just normal mod, or doing a little bit of modifications, such as with the Gladiator here, or the Power Wagon. And with these guys, even if they don't look like it, these are highly modified. And the ones that are least modified that I have is this one's still all box stock. I haven't touched it yet. It's gonna be changed, and we'll discuss what that takes. This little B17 Betty, I have changed the steering links, and I have changed the wheels and tires. Other than that, this little guy is all stock. These were a hot commodity when they came out. People were paying crazy amounts for them. But then that was all like the first release. They did this, the Deadbolt was the first release, which mine's now turned into a completely different Endura crawler, which is in a box in the other room. And I went through that, and that was fun. And then they came out with the little Jeep, which this one's also not too heavily modified. I did build this really cool camper for it. And you know, then they came out with the little B17 Betty, and then well, the C10, which is what this F-150 is, it's been changed up to a little F-150, but it was a C10. And then I have this one. This is a complete custom build. This is a Hard Part Crawlers red fiber, carbon fiber chassis special edition, which he doesn't make many of those because the red in there is actual metal, and it dulls the blade real bad when he cuts it. He was telling me about them. But really cool chassis. And they've been a great platform. Here's where we start running into problems. 5, 6 years down the road now they've been making these, and they've been completely surpassed by their competition. They haven't bothered to update anything of importance. So when you take this little guy and pop it open, other than this ESC, which they've put modern Spectrum electronics in it instead of the Axial electronics in it. But that being said, the ESC and receiver combo, that's it. Same little junk motor. This little thing, I don't know why they're still using it. Plastic gear, I mean, it's the size of my thumbnail. Still putting that in here. These servos, the AS1, hate these servos. Here's what I think about these servos. Hate those servos. They're terrible. I ripped them out immediately, and they've been in a pile, and being able to throw them like that just made me really happy. This one will be ripped out and thrown immediately too. They've got a servo saver built into them. They have no power. They are fine if you use just the stock wheels, which are they've not released a set of bead locks yet. They're glue-ons. There's no foam. Same few basic wheel patterns they always release. And that stock servo is good for that and that only. The moment you add weight, you put a set of brass wheels on like you would with this guy here, or this guy here, or this guy here, or this one, or this one. You got to put brass wheels on them. It's what keeps them from flipping over. They're just so small with a short wheelbase, you got to depend on low center of gravity weight. So the moment you put a set of brass wheels on this thing thinks it has epilepsy. That little servo cannot take that weight and it will spasm out. Put some extra weight on a stock servo. If you've done it before, you know what I'm talking about. You go to turn it, it goes, and just keeps doing that. So immediately out of the box, got to change the servo if you want to put any kind of decent wheels or tires on it. And that brings us to problem number 2. Oh, I think I threw our thumbnail motor already. But that little thumbnail motor, once you put the bigger wheels and tires on it, can no longer power your rig. It just doesn't have the power. So you end up going nowhere. You get up against a rock and you stall out against it. It's very frustrating. And for reasons like that, Fury Tech motor. Hobby Plus motor, much larger can. Oh, my Scx24 monster truck. Right there, much larger motor, Mofo Racing. The Betty does still have the stock motor to its credit, and so does this little guy. Did I leave the stock motor in this one? It does have the stock motor, but I hardly drive this thing because it's still underpowered, and I do need to get around to upgrading the motor. And, you know, the TRX-4M came out, and it's a Bronco too. Larger, bigger motor, bigger servo, hard body. The only thing the Axial really has over it is the Axial has a full interior. And the TRX-4M doesn't. But $160. TRX-4M, $150. And like this guy, $160. FCX24, you can catch them on sale for $100 all day long. FCX24 is a much better platform. It has a 2-speed transmission, bigger motor, and just overall I think is just better designed. This one definitely has a larger motor. This one I really love. This is a great vehicle. This is a 55 turn RC all-wheel drive. So I mean, I love my SCX24s. I really do. I love building them. I just wish for the money that we're paying at this point in the game, we should get more. And I'll pull out a Red Cat and a Hobby Plus, a TRX-4M, FCX24 here in just a little bit, and I'll show you side by side how large the components are in those vehicles compared to the components in these vehicles. So then Axial came out with this thing called the AX24 AC1. Well, this is all I have left of mine because if you bought one, I'm sure that you thought the same thing I did and it just needed to go away. So I sold it dirt cheap to get rid of it. My buddy Franz, Derp, he's watching, loves small rigs. And I guarantee he's going to have the same feeling about that AX24. That thing was just pure garbage. Now we're still releasing beautiful new bodies, but nothing else. So I guess you could call it the Traxxas trick, really. Put a new body on it and just keep selling it. But it's getting to the point, I think they're going to really start losing their audience. The SCX24, now people are just going to buy their own body, buy their own parts, and if they want this body, you can buy this body separate and make a full custom rig off of Amazon or eBay or wherever you like to order your stuff from and not really have to mess with the Axial stuff from the get-go. You can just start right off with a good servo and good motor. And the aftermarket support for the SCX24s, there's almost just no reason to buy their brand any longer. These RC all-wheel drive portal axles, brass portal axles, you can buy these guys for right around $100, and guess what? You can buy all your other parts super cheap too, and for a little bit more money than you have in this, you can build something like this that's incredible. You know, this thing will just go anywhere. And same with this one. In order to get to where I'm at now, see, this was baseline, what, $160, and so $40 for the brass wheels, $20 for the tires, probably around $20 for that servo, $160 or so in the axles with because I've also put on extra brass weights in the front and back on the diff covers. So you're already getting up into the $300 range. That's two TRX4s, M's. That's the Red Cat Ascent 18, $100. For what I have in this, you could buy 3 Red Cat Ascent 18s. That's insane. That's just to make this thing do what it does. Same with this guy. This one also, they're not portal axles, but I got aluminum axles in this one. I've got a lot of brass in this one, brass knuckles, upgraded tires, wheels, motor, links. It's just an upgrade game with the Scx24s. I mean, we're hobbyists. We love to upgrade. We love to modify. We love to build. But if you buy a ready to run, it should be ready to run. Well, my Ascent 18 didn't have to do anything to it. I could take it right out of the box and it just conquered. The TRX4Ms, yes and no right out of the box because they got the weird gearing. They got that mid-range gearing it comes with or whatever. But once you put the low gears in it, and that's like $12. So that's an acceptable upgrade. Not hard to do. And then you've got an awesome low-range crawler that is just really good. Now, that being said, let me get out a couple of these other brands, and I'll pick up one of my trash servos and my thumbnail motor, and I'll show you side by side what you're getting in just those two components from other brands. And hopefully Axial sees this and decides it is time to up their game a little bit. I think we all need it. Here we are, I've thrown a few up for quick comparison. This is the Ascent 18, and it has this Fury Tech motor in it. That did not come that way. That is something I added, but it's something I wanted to add. I didn't need to add it. And here's our little AX24 servo compared to their servo. As you can see, it's quite a bit thicker. Has a lot more power, and no servo saver. Then we have the TRX4M. Now this is another one. I don't think they come with foam in their tires either, if I remember right. But that being said, look at the motor difference. I mean, just so much more motor. Same with the servo. You get a much nicer servo, much stronger servo. I mean, you feel that servo when you turn it. You can't. It takes a bit of power to turn that one. A little axial, just flops all over the place because that servo saver is also very weak. The Scx24. Once again, look at the motor size difference. And with this one, you get a 2-speed transmission. And it does have a servo saver. It's an adjustable one. You can take it off there because it's got a large servo. It's a very nice servo on there. I actually like the servo on this quite a bit. And you see it's a good bit larger as well. What else we got laying around here? We got my Hobby Plus. We'll flip that over. So again, much larger servo. And look at that motor. You can see it peeking through there. That thing, that is a massive motor on that thing. I mean, I could turn it sideways. Its length is the width of the motor there. But $200. $100 minus, you know, the crazy stuff I did. But these are mods I did because I wanted to. I've been running this Arctos bone stock for a month straight now. Love the thing. Finally went and put wheels and tires on it, and now it's even better. The TRX4M, been an absolute champion. I know Traxxas gets a lot of hate, but at the end of the day, I mean, Traxxas gets the hate, but they also make dependable, long-lasting products that you can always find replacement parts for. And that's why I end up buying a lot of their stuff, because I don't have to go buy stuff for version 2, version 3, version 4, version 5. If you buy a Traxxas, you can pretty much guarantee, unless you're talking about something from way back at the beginning of the 80s, like the Hawk or something, if it's a normal Traxxas vehicle, you can find parts for it. They still make almost everything. Scx24, also a great vehicle. But that's just, you know, kind of a comparison of where I wanted to stop, where I went. And I hope you didn't take this all as a rant, but saw, you know, kind of where I'm coming from on this stuff. I just think, you know, for what you can get for $100, what you can get for $150, what you can get for $100, you know, they have several different versions of this. The new one might be more expensive, but you can find one for $100. I think they have the new Camel trucks on Amazon right now for $120 and a $20 off coupon, so $100. But there's just a lot more options out there right now than the Scx24 market, and they're offering better stuff at the same or cheaper. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Blow the comments up. Tell me what you think. I'm ready to hear it. Hope to catch you on the next video. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you later.